Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another KRL multi-class social race. Live and exclusive here on Twitch. This time around, once again, we are making the switch from YouTube to Twitch. That rhymes if you don't mind, and we are back here this time once again we're in the United States at the Circuit of the Americas. Not too far out of Austin in Texas. They say everything's bigger in Texas. And let's hope it's going to be a big night tonight, that's for sure. Hello, Voodoo, Nigerian Prince. Big shout out to Voodoo, who has these incredible voodoo black magic powers of his. And he managed to change a few things up on the stream, helping out as he always does. It is fantastic to have you along with Jason Cuts. Good luck, everybody. Big hello to you, Voodoo. Loving the Voodoo emojis. And tonight we have come in right on qualifying. We might just move the chat window across a little bit. There's a lot of love in this chat tonight. And it is all for that man, Nigerian Prince. And don't forget to send him your bank account details. And we are in for an absolute ripper here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are looking at Branchy. Let's, before we get into it, let's just give you a rundown here. 21-minute split qualifying session tonight. The Lambo ST drivers will be driving till there is 11 minutes remaining. Rain of Fire, evening lads, hello to you. Let us know how the audio's sounding. And we know that the Porsches were a little bit loud on the engine side of things last night, but I've got to say, or last week I should say, but evening, Rain of Fire, Voodoo, the Nigerian Prince, doing very nicely there indeed. Keep your comments coming in. We would love to hear from you. 7 people watching at the moment. And boy, if we could top last week, that would be fantastic. Sounds pretty good on my end, all the way there in Adelaide in South Australia. And boy, is it fantastic to have you, Chuck Norris, along for the ride. Rain of Fire says, sounds good, mate. That is fantastic. Thank you. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Audio sounds good, Nigerian Prince. As we are looking at this qualifying session. Where was I? Thank you, Jason. Audio sounding good. 14 minutes to go in this session. Like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by myself, that we are at the Circuit of the Americas. And I've got to say that we've had open practice for an hour or so, and then we've got the 21-minute split qualifying like I was talking about, and the Lambo guys out on track until there is 11 minutes remaining. And we can see Jason Wilkinson, the man who dominated last week. He took the Grand Slam in the practice race on the Wednesday night and backed it up again. Had a great time racing with Figo last time around at Watkins Glen. Classic old school circuit. This one not quite as old, of course. Hosted the Formula One back in 2012 for the first time. Kilroy, first time chatter. Great to have you along for the ride, Kilroy. And doing good, Rain of Fire. Been working heaps. Picked up a new PS5 last week and a brand new 32-inch monitor today. Not all about screen size, but you've got to say 32-inch, very reliable, good size that. And well and truly worth it, no doubt about that. 211.487. And we're just waiting for Bullseye Bobby Hoskins, who's gone to feed the dog. He will be back in the commentary box in the not too distant future, but 13 minutes already left in this session. 7 gorgeous people watching on Twitch. Don't forget, Kilroy, I'm looking at you. If you haven't followed this channel, please do so. We're on the road to 30 followers, and we're hoping to get there very, very quickly. 211.487. It is Wilco on provisional pole position. We might stick with this lap until he gets to the end. You can see the number 19, the famous number 19, is Good Vibes in the army camo livery there. Looks like something you could just march in with that. Very nice indeed. Aussie Thunder then coming through turn 1. And you can see now we're just, we've had a few changes, and the Spaniard has joined. Haven't tested the monitor just yet. Got to have some family time since I worked away and spent the night in Roma last night. Very important. Family comes first. Rain of Fire, that's for sure. Great to have you along with us. We're looking at Sideways Polka 3. And this is a very, the grid is all over the place at the moment. 2.3 back to sideways. Aussie Thunder there, 9 seconds off the pace. But I'm guessing he has yet to set a representative lap time. Kilroy says, how do I follow this wonderful KRL channel? Just set up my Twitch thingy. Voodoo may be able to help you out. He is on the line, 1300 Nigerian Prince, and then hold the line, press 1, 3, and then 4. And you will, hit the heart icon, and you should be following this channel. And that will get us up to around 30 followers. Fantastic. Kilroy, Aussie Thunder, well and truly off the pace. And you can see Branchy, thumbs up from Kilroy. Thank you for that. Green flags waving. There was a yellow flag out. I think somebody may have run into some trouble. We'll have a look. Was it sideways? No, he comes onto the start-finish straight across the line. What can he do? Just starting a new lap there. No, someone back in the pits now. Wilco. 2:11.487. We know these Lamborghinis are slightly slower, of course, by about 3 or 4 seconds a lap from the GT3 cars. And 10-minute mark, and the GT3s will commence their qualifying session. So with less than a minute to go in the Lambo STs, these drivers are just getting a feel for the circuit. You can see the marbles offline. Track temperature is 29 degrees. So a few degrees hotter than what we had last weekend in Watkins Glen, and then 25 degrees air temperature, optimum track conditions. And that thumbs up suggests that Kilroy has indeed followed the Twitch channel. Great to have you with us, Kilroy. And boy, we are in for an absolute beauty tonight. And you can see we might just stick with this. Let's have a look. I think Wilco is the first to come around and complete his hot lap. I think this is going to be the last opportunity. Wilco's going to have to set a time here. He's currently sitting on a 2:11.487. And he comes around the final corner onto the start-finish straight now. What can he do? Can he improve? He's already on provisional pole position. Let's see what he can do. Across the line, I think he might have pulled out of it, has he? No. He's gone quicker.
Backed out of that one.
He's backed out of that one. No, he hasn't. Sorry, the start-finish line is a little bit closer, isn't it, than the F1 line? I'm getting a bit confused.
Yeah, that's strange. Yeah, it looked like he was crawling on my screen, at least.
So there we have it. So that is the end of the Lamborghini. Kilroy's just followed as I welcome my co-commentator, Bullseye Bobby Hoskins. Always very important. Family comes first. We've been talking about Bob while you've been away. And so do the dogs. Hopefully that is one happy pooch you've got there after getting fed tonight.
Yeah, he's been licking his chops. He's all nice and happy now.
Great stuff. As we see, we've got a 1 minute gap, I think. Are we waiting? I think we've had the Lamborghinis out on track, and Jason or Wilco. I won't get those two Jasons mixed up. The start-finish line is 30 metres after the last corner, so that would explain it, Bobby. As we see the GT3 cars come out on track for the first time. These qualifying sessions go so quickly, and it's very important, isn't it, Bob, to get that banker lap time in early.
Yeah, sometimes you're better off just taking a bit of extra fuel, not just your 3 laps worth. Just go out there, use your first lap as a sighting lap, your second lap just gently easing into it, get that in as your banker, then start pushing it thereafter. But yeah, dead important to get that banker in first.
As we can see now, OGT, these guys. OGT at the back of the pack. I'm just trying to find who is at the front of this pack. We can see V8 Man has very limited time in the Audi, and he had some issues with his pedals, I think, coming into tonight, but he's back out on track finally. Good evening, gents. Jimbledon, great to see some good numbers. We definitely have good numbers, don't we? What do we got? 15 on the track tonight, and just for a social race, those numbers are encouraging, Bob, leading into a new season.
Yeah, no, we should be seeing, higher numbers as, other seasons come to an end, and, this kicks off in earnest into our triple header.
And you can see there, hey Jimbo, hey Jimbledon, great to have you along with us. And Wilco says, give me a man after midnight. No, give me a moderator. We'll have to sort that out. I am absolutely shocking with this stuff. But V8 Man doing his first laps on the game in 4 months. 4 months. That is incredible, isn't it? As we've got a yellow flag out. Somebody is off, but I think it's that same glitch we had last week at Watkins Glen. Bullseye. It's once they go back into the pits, that yellow flag stays out for quite a long time.
Yeah, no, and I think there's a bit of chitter-chatter in the 505 Discord regarding this as well. So, yeah, it's that will show up for everyone for the remainder of quali.
There we have it. Buenos dias. Buenos dias, Senor Alberto. That is Spanish for hello, Albert, and welcome to the lobby here tonight. KRL multi-class social race. Off the back of some pretty good numbers last week on the viewer side of things, and in the race itself, we are back again for another week. Type in /mod Jason Wilco and it should work. I can't do it on my end. That's okay. I've got a bit on here, fellas, but I will get to that at some point in time. But it's just this, how good's this stuff? There we go. So V8 Man. And we've lost a few features this week, haven't we? We've had an update, Bob, and we've lost a few customization camera options this week, which is a little bit frustrating as V8 Man. Oh, that looks like someone that hasn't turned a wheel in a few months, but he's back on track now. But quite annoying we've lost those features, Bob, yet again on this game.
Yeah, they've sort of given with one hand and taken a few features with another. So you can see that... You can see where they're trying to go, but with them enabling certain camera features, they removed half of the decent ones.
Yeah, they're taking with one hand and giving us 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and as the saying goes. But I've got to say, what times are we expecting, Bob, in the GT3s? Well, let's have a look at Figo, and this is a man who ran Wilco almost to the line last week, didn't he? It was a fantastic finish to that race, and I had sweaty armpits, and I was just talking about it last week. But Figo with a 207.957, he seems to have set the high watermark early in the 911 Audi.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's already sat. He's already sat at that pace in the previous practice. So there's room for improvement on that time, I believe.
And there is a little bit of wiggle room there. 9 people watching the Twitch stream. Don't forget, I'm sure you've all followed, but please, if you haven't already, Kilroy's jumped on board. We've got a new follower yet again, Bullseye, so that is fantastic. Who else have we got on a hot lap here? We've got Vintage Racer 1967. Great to have him along with us. Caught up with him at Sandown. Is that... That's the one I'm thinking of, is it? Betting Man, says Wilco. I thought you meant that famous song, of course. Was it Robbie Williams? I'm doing all I can to be a better man. Once you found... Yeah, we'll leave that there. Sexy Rexy is on a lap, we're hearing. We're hearing that Bullseye as he comes through that. That is a tough corner, isn't it? That right again. Sort of the reverse of Turkey, isn't it? Istanbul, that triple. Yeah, we did meet Vintage at Sandown, and he took a few photos of me in the commentary box, and that was a great weekend, that's for sure. Let's have a look at Sexy Rexy, yibbida.
That's not a bad lap at all. 3 tenths off.
Absolutely stonking lap, look, and he sees only 2 tenths off. Vibing to that song, look at that. Just a bit of head wobble about him. Great stuff, Voodoo, Nigerian Prince. Don't forget, if you want anything from anywhere at any time of the day, just email 124nigerianprince@hotmail.com. Nothing more legitimate than that. And you could be on your way to the capital of Nigeria with £8 million and the Prince himself. But Sexy Rexy, this is interesting. Can he go quicker, Bob? That is the question. Is he on another hot lap here, as we can see in front of us?
It is looking pretty smooth, and he obviously hasn't backed out of it yet. Let's see if it will let me into his car. And it will. He's 3 tenths up, 4 tenths up.
3 tenths up. We might stick with this one then. That's right, £8,000 £8 million, in fact, for the Nigerian Prince. Get your details, your credit card details to him. All above board, all legitimate at the moment. But Sexy Rexy is looking to go quicker at the moment. I'm not sure what Figo's doing, but we might get to him. We're counting down quickly, aren't we? Just a tick over 2 minutes remaining. As Rexy coming through. This is a tough corner, isn't it? We've got the left, then the right.
He's still up.
He's still up on his previous time. I reckon he's going to go close here. Sexy Rexy, yibbida yibbida. That's all, folks. As he comes through, a little bit of a wide line there. Is he going to hit the apex? Very nice indeed. He's looking good. A little bit twitchy.
He's just invalidated.
Oh no! So there you have it. Just when it was looking so good for Sexy Rexy, he has invalidated his lap. Have we got Vintage on a lap here? Vintage Racer 19...
He was 4 tenths up at the time as well.
1967. We've met the great man, Vintage Racer 1967, in person, haven't we, Wilco? Down there at Sandown a few months ago with the behind-the-scenes stuff. But Vintage Racer, fantastic chap there. 10 people, double figures this early in the piece, if you don't mind. And we haven't even gone racing yet. There we have it, a few frame drops. Don't worry about that. Stick in there at home, because this is going to be a fantastic race, multi-class. As you can see, Vintage Racer, we'll know straight away, I think, coming out of the final corner. I don't think he's improved. Let's have a look, OGT. What's he doing? Is he next in line? Might have someone else.
Let's have a look. So Albert is just crossing. He's just starting his final lap.
There we have it.
So what's Andy Byrne on? There we go. He's 1.7 seconds off. Car number 28, OGT, he's 1.4 off.
1.4 off the pace now. We've just got a Kilroy coming in, our newest follower. That's right, there is a prize pack heading your way, Kilroy. Leave your details with us in private, a private message, and we'll send something out to Kilroy. 1967 was a good year. Bullseye, what were you doing back in 1967, please? Can you recall?
I was just a twinkle in my daddy's eye.
Yes, I was a few more years before I come onto the scene, let me tell you. Maybe 20 odd years before I came onto the scene, but thank you, Kilroy. Bloody terrific year, and that is the end of qualifying. Don't hit drive, kid buyers. That's right, Rexy, Sexy Rexy having another crack at this, but I think Saint is in his way. He's got some traffic on this final run, Bob.
Oh, yeah, he just had to lift there as well. That was an awkward spot to get out of the way. There's loads of points on this track where the cars will just converge, you know, just where certain cars are naturally stronger than others. And, yeah, that scuppered his last lap hopes.
There we have it. So we'll see what Sexy Rexy can do. Can he go quick? I don't think so. Oh, he has!
I don't know how he managed that. He has out of the throttle.
How on earth did he do that? That is incredible. An amazing lap from Sexy Rexy Buckingham 46. And it looked like he went straight up the back of who was it? Saint Sim 04. But he's going quicker. Who else is on a quick lap? Let's have a look. Across the line they come. Somebody else, Vintage Racer. I think Son of Spawn has slightly improved. OGT coming up to the final few corners now, but that was an incredible lap from Rex. I would have loved to have seen that on board, Bob, because it looked like not only did he go off the track, but he went right up Saint's Ginger there before the end of the lap, so you would have thought he would have lost time, but here we go across the line. That is it. And how is Figo feeling in that 911 Audi at the moment? It's daylight robbery, isn't it? Bullseye. Rex has taken it off him at the final moment in qualifying.
These two, I don't know if they still are. These two actually used to share setups. Both used to race in the Porsche. To see them this close, I would imagine that they're probably on the same setup and just open for a good, hard race.
There we have it. Kilroy, go off and pick up your pizza. Let us know what kind of pizza. Don't forget, nothing wrong with pineapple on that pizza either, but sounding good, Trev and Bob. Thank you for that, Kilroy. We'll catch you in a few moments' time. But let's recap in qualifying here. It's Sexy Rexy, yippita yippita, with a 207.935. Daylight robbery, if you don't mind, Bullseye. Taking pole position from Figo. by the slimmest of margins. Ahead of Vintage Racer OGT, second row start for him. Andy Byrne, 06, son of Spur Spawn. Don't want to get that wrong. Anyway, so then we've got the King of Spain, Alberto, and he is in 7th place. Borg, 1376. Wilco in 9th, the first of the Lamborghini class. Good vibes, Sideways, Polka. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Saint Sim 04, Branchy, good to see him. V8 man, who hasn't barely turned a lap in 4 months. And two pretty sexy looking commentators there in 15th and 16th spot. Do we have a formation lap here tonight, Bob, or are we just getting underway straight away?
I think we're just doing a very short formation lap here. It is a very long circuit, so I believe that was all factored in, and it could give us a little bit of excitement in the first lap, because obviously their tyres aren't going to be up to scratch, and the Lambos will probably suffer more for it.
So there you have it. You heard it here first. We are going to get a shorter formation lap tonight, 45 minutes. This race tonight. Rain of Fire says now if Sexy Rexy can stay on track, he might just run away with this race, but I think Figo's going to have plenty to say about that. And don't forget about Vintage Racer and OGT, starting from the second row of the grid. And we're a minute away from getting underway here tonight. Short formation lap. Thank you for that, Jason Wilkinson, down there in Carrum Downs. Voodoo, Nigerian Prince, I think it is just the short formation lap. So not a 10-minute out lap. So that is good to know. We are going to get underway. No messing about tonight, Bob. We are less than a minute away from the start of this race. And boy, oh boy, I don't want to get your tips. I know, I'm not sure if you're a betting man, but who is your money on tonight?
For me, I'm going to go with Figo. I know that he's got some time in hand. I reckon he's got a good second or so in hand with his lap time. So although Rex has managed to pip him for that pole, I think it's all in Figo's hands tonight. As for the Lambos, hard to say. I mean, you would like to say Wilco, but we're going to have some cars, you know, in strange positions during this race. So, you know, Wilco could find himself sort of in trouble in amongst the GT3s.
Yep, there we have it. Might be touch and go with the GT field. The GT front runners lapping the whole Lambo ST field, barring any incidents. But we are underway. The cars are rolling. And you can see Sexy Rexy there. P1 Rexy, P1. And alongside him, Figo just cannot wait to get going. And right behind them is Vintage Racer at OGT. We are about to get underway here for the Kid Buyers Racing League social multi-class race here on a Thursday night. We are almost ready. We're waiting. 14 drivers looking down into turn one. Who is going to take out the race tonight? GT3s versus Lambo STs, if you don't mind. We're almost ready. Yes, we're away. We're away and racing, and Rex looking to hold the inside line, heading up into turn
Albert
one.
Split in two of them.
And
he's got a gun.
Figo hanging it around the outside. There's contact. And Sexy Rexy is off the track already. And he's in a spot of bother there. I think Figo's going to take the lead behind him. Vintage Racer up to second. And look at this, already drama at the first corner. And you can see Albert, the King of Spain, already up into fourth. Sexy Rexy down into third. Albert up 4 spots. Hectic start to this one, halfway through lap 1, Bob.
Yeah, it's all about momentum. This first sector, it's all about momentum, and because they've got cold tyres, they're not going to be settled at the moment. So whoever can be the smoothest on this first lap might find themselves, you know, up a few positions.
So Figo, then Vintage Racer doing very nicely. Sexy Rexy recovering after that incident. Turn one looked a little bit controversial. But we'll have to have a look back on the stream. Albert under pressure there from OGT at the moment. Son of Spawn Dad as well. Andy, Borg, V8 Man, Saint Sim, all going through your picture at the moment. Wilco, what's happening in the Lamborghini ST field? I can tell you that Wilco is currently leading. No, I beg your pardon. Is it Saint, I think, in front of Jason at this stage? Then it's Good Vibes, Sideways, Branchy. What a hectic opening lap we're having here at the Circuit of Americas. They say everything's bigger in Texas, Bob, and what a hectic start we've had here tonight. Vintage Racer and Rexy side by side. Look at this. There's two isn't going to go into one through that corner, I don't reckon, but I reckon he's backed out of it. Vintage Racer holds second on this opening lap. Sexy Rexy slots in behind him. Still not out of this one, Bob, with 43 minutes to go. Then it's Albert Buenos Dias, Senor Alberto. He is coming through the final corner now, maintaining fourth position. OGT fifth. Spawn sixth. Andy Byrne right up his ginger in seventh. But what a hectic opening lap. And we've still got 42 minutes to go, Bullseye.
It's great to see. Look how close the whole field is. There's no sort of big gaps appearing. I think we could be in for a proper doozy tonight. Absolute
doozy, if you don't mind. Hello, Possums. Thanks for joining us all. And quickest lap, fastest lap, in fact, I think was Vintage Racer for a brief moment in time there. And Figo still leads this race, 1.3 now the gap. Back to Sexy Rexy, yibbita yibbita. Vintage Racer in third, fastest man on the track. But he's got Albert right up behind him, keeping him honest here. Look how close it is. You could throw a hanky over about four of them at the moment. It's that close. OGT in fifth, things spreading out further down. Spawn now in seventh. Borg is eighth. V8 man doing very nicely for a man that hasn't spent a lot of time on this game in the last 4 or so months. Saint Sim, it's a whole different battle too, isn't it, in the Lambos. The ST field also very close here tonight, Bob, and I think this is going to be a battle that we're going to see right throughout the next 41 minutes here.
Yeah, no, this is going to be interesting. In actual fact, Saint Sim is in the GT3 Lambo. So Wilco is doing a remarkable job actually staying with the GT3 while he's in his ST.
There we have it. So a slightly different, you can see there, Saint Sim. Wilco doing very nicely to stay with him. Good vibes, 1.3 further back. Let's take a look at here, sideways in the 48 Lambo, 1.7 further back. Branchy as well. And Rain of Fire will get back to Figo at the front in the GT3 field. But Rain of Fire says, Bob, you took the words right out of my mouth. Oh, it must have been when you were commentating with me. And Rain of Fire, just give us an inch. I'll take a look. No. And what's happened there, Bob? What's happened?
I think that was V8 Man. Yeah, V8 Man will exit stage left as they were going through the change of direction. Yeah, pendulum effect, and spat him off.
And he has been chewed up and spat out here. This circuit, traditionally, Bob, quite a bumpy circuit, especially in real life. We know this has been laser scanned here on Assetto Corsa. The Italians doing very nicely there, setting this one up. But V8 Man, is that lack of track time, Bob, showing here for V8 Man early in this race? You can see now down last of the runners at the moment. Is it affecting him here at the moment, you reckon?
Yeah, it's a possibility. I mean, to come back into the game, and this, as you've pointed out, it's a very bumpy track. It's, it's probably not the best track to come straight back into it on, but great to see him out there.
And 13 gorgeous people watching the stream. You know the drill. Every Thursday night here, live and exclusive on the Kid Buyers Twitch channel. Please follow us. We would be forever grateful. But lap 2 of this race, what's happening at the front? Things still looking very, very close indeed between Figo and Sexy Rexy. Those two got very close at the first corner, but now around a second between those two, Bob.
Wilco has just had Saint Sim. He's just gone past the GT3 Lambo.
And breaking news out of Texas. He has gone past him. Look at this. This is incredible and intriguing development. Wilco, who showed great pace last week, of course, in the Porsche, he has gone right through there, and he's not only has he gone through, he's pulling away from him at the moment, or appears to be pulling away from Saint Sim in the GT3. So, wow, he is well and truly on it here, isn't he, Bob?
No, he's doing really well. I mean, obviously he's hampered. There's not as much downforce, although that gives him the top end advantage, but he's not in a section at the moment that is all to do with the top end. So he's done this. He's done it the right way. He's got it done, and he's going to try and scamper off.
Pulling away, scampering off into the distance. Lap 3. 3 laps out of however many laps we can get in the next 38 minutes and 21 seconds. Rain of Fire, the great man saying the STs are pretty beastie. They are indeed quite beastie. They look very nice, don't they, on these cameras here. The broadcast camera on this game. And look at this, if you don't mind. Audi versus Audi, Audi, 1, 2, and 3. And you can see there Figo setting the pace, but Rexy, sexy Rexy, yibbida, coming right back at him here, coming back with the fastest lap. And that gap looks very close at the moment. It says 1.3 on our timing screens, but it looks awfully close, Bob, here.
It does. There seems to be a yo-yo going on with all of these gaps at the moment. I don't actually know what's happened to Albert, but he finds himself back in his starting position. He's back in 7th again. So I'll have a quick look through the replay and I'll see what I can bring you.
And we can see there we've got a yellow flag out. Somebody having some issues at the back. Jimbledon says, are we playing track limits bingo tonight? That is a very good question, Jimbledon. And what are track limits around here like? That is a good question. And we know it's quite different, isn't it? It's more that second last corner. If you get all 4 wheels off the circuit, you don't get punished like you would in some other categories around this circuit. But as Bob checks out on the replay what happened with the King of Spain, there'll be a few choice Spanish words inside that helmet, because you've got to say that other track limits here, like at Paul Ricard, you might know that a little bit better than me, Bullseye, but what are the track limits like? There are plenty of runoff areas, and it's quite easy to put all 4 wheels onto that runoff area, isn't it?
Yeah, it's different points of the track. I mean, as we saw earlier on, the lap that looked like Rex, or the penultimate lap that Rex did, that he was 4 tenths up, he was just, it was millimeters off the track, and it flagged him on an off track. So yeah, different corners. It's a bit of a roulette here.
So it's a bit of a mixed bag. Thank you for that question, Rain of Fire. Great to have you along with us tonight. Jimbledon says worse than Paul Ricard. Sector 1 S's are horrific. And Rain of Fire just following up says, sounds like it's not a track for me then. Oh my goodness, that was very close. Was that sexy Rexy side by side with Figo there on that occasion? He is very close. This battle is showing no signs of letting up. And I think he's got a few scores to settle, sexy Rexy, after that incident at turn 1, Bob.
Yeah, these two will duke it out for the remainder of this race. I was thinking that Figo might make a run for it, but Rex has got his measure, so we'll have to see how this develops.
Let's have a look here. We can see now Figo. Rex has got a good run on him down the main straight. He goes to the outside. Figo stays on the inside. Last of the late breakers, Rex. Sexy Rexy looks like he's got this move done, but don't forget the inside becomes the outside for Figo coming up to the next series of corners. They're not giving an inch, are they? And that looked like it was a lot cleaner than what happened at turn 1, but sexy Rexy is through and into the lead of this race. I've got to agree with you there, Rain of Fire. Nice passing, nice clean moves there. Great racing between these two. And like we said, Bob, these two are going to duke it out for the next 34 minutes, but that was very clean, very respectful, clinical. Jimbledon is the word I was looking for. Thank you, my friend. And he may have got through here, but Figo is looking for an opportunity here, Bob.
Yeah, there's a lot of high-speed sections here, a lot of, straights that, the aero is going to make a huge difference. So we could see a lot of position changes before the end of this race.
5 laps gone, 34 minutes remaining in this one. Great to have your company wherever you're watching us right around the world. I say it every week, but it's an absolute pleasure to bring this KRL multi-class social race to you on a Thursday night here, live and exclusive on the KRL Twitch channel. If you're out there watching, I won't give it a plug too many times, but please follow the channel. We're trying to get to 30 followers. That would be fantastic. 5 laps gone. Here we go. Figo 0.6 of a second further back from Sexy Rexy Buckingham, who made the move on the last lap. Yellow flags were out briefly, but we're back to greens now. Vintage Racer. Very quiet so far, but he's got OGT only 1.5 seconds behind him, as he is 4.5 seconds back from the leading duo of Sexy Rexy and Figo. Andy Byrne in 5th, Son of Spawn, 3.8 further down the field. Albert, he must have run into some trouble. Did we find out what happened with Albert?
Yeah, I got to the bottom of that. So literally, it was just unfortunate. Made an error coming into the final corner about 3 laps ago, and just looped it in the final corner.
So there we have it. It can happen on this circuit. As Son of Spawn has gone down a couple of places. I think that may have been the yellow flag we saw a moment ago, Bob, but he is...
Yes, he's just fallen down through the order now, yes.
He's fallen down a few spots there. Wilco doing very, very nicely indeed, if you don't mind. He's broken away, hasn't he? You can see there from sideways, Branchy, what is he doing? We like to keep everyone involved here. Branchy, the number 63, and he's had a pretty quiet race. He's 8.3 off the leading pack, of course, in the ST Lamborghini field tonight, but still he's keeping his nose clean. That's all you need to do. Anything can happen with 30 minutes left in this race. And let's just recap. Sexy Rexy looks like he's absolutely on it, Bob, because he's pulled out 1.8 seconds, that gap now back to Figo in second.
Yeah, so it looks like it's, you know, the way it's settled at the moment, it looks like, you know, the ball's in Rex's court. But this, to keep consistent at this track, it's nigh on impossible. It's, you know, I reckon there's still going to be plenty of changes.
There we have it. So 6 laps. If you're just joining us, let's recap here at the Circuit of the Americas for tonight's KRL social race. It is Rex Buckingham. After getting into some trouble early on the opening lap, he is 1.7 seconds ahead of Figo. There he is. And Rain of Fire just wanting to know how many stop-go 30s have we had tonight? None so far, I don't think, Rain of Fire. But last week, that was that a glitch in the end, Bob? Did we get to the bottom of that one?
No, it ended up actually all being self-induced. It was all, you know, they got their braking markers wrong coming into the pits.
As OGT right up behind Vintage. There you go, Rain of Fire. That was quite comical, wasn't it, last week? But I think off air, we realised that the pit lane entry was a little bit further forward than some of the boys might have imagined. But he said, how many will we get tonight, Rain of Fire? Thank you. How many?
Yeah, that's difficult. That's difficult. Yeah, I mean, you would expect it. I would only expect, you know, 1 or 2 drivers, to be honest. We have seen one drop out. I can't remember who that was. We are a driver down.
We are a driver down. We are, aren't we? There was 14 in the field, wasn't there? I think. We'll have to. We'll look back on the stream a little bit later.
Saint Sim.
Saint Sim is gone. Yes, because Wilco made the move on him, didn't he? And that's who dropped off. Saint Sim. Thank you, Jimbledon, for confirming that. Borg had a great night earlier in the week at Shakedown. Looks like he's on it again tonight. Great to see. He's bringing his shakedown form into the KRL social scene. And Saint dropped out. Rain of Fire. Jimbledon just confirming that in the chat. Thank you, fellas. And in terms of how many SG30s we're going to see tonight, maybe 1, 2, 3, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. I'm guessing if it is a mandatory pit stop, isn't it, Bob, tonight? I'm guessing you may get 1, possibly 1. If you've got to make 1 pit stop, there might be only a limited amount of chances to break that pit lane speed limit. And watching some old Formula 1 races many years ago, there was no speed limit, I think, back in the day. Quite scary to see. But Rex, lap 7 of this race. And what is going on with Rex? Just when you think Figo's out of action, he comes back into it again, because it's less than a second again between these two at the sharp end of the field. We see Rex, well, almost got out to 2 seconds, and now he's still keeping him honest here, because it's less than a second. Now it's 1.3. So the times...
OGT has closed the gap on Vintage Racer.
And this is interesting. That's just what I was about to say. You took the words right out of my mouth again, Bullseye, because I've got to say that this gap, it was roughly 1.5, 1.8 seconds or so, a tick under 2 seconds, this gap. But now OGT making inroads on Vintage Racer 1967, who, did I tell you I've met him in real life? Great bloke, top bloke, in fact. 1967, what a great year that was, Kilroy. As don't forget about Andy Byrne either, who's, well, we haven't talked about him too much tonight, but he's only 2.1 off of OGT there in fourth.
Yeah, the Lexus isn't the quickest car out there, but it's a good all-rounder. It's nice and steady. It's very forgiving. So, you know, consistency. I would imagine that Andy Byrne will be probably one of the most consistent out there at the moment.
As we take a look now at the King of Spain, Albert, who is 5.8 seconds further back from Andy Byrne and the number 92 McLaren. And a bit of a quiet night for Albert. I guess he was expecting more from tonight. The Spaniard, of course, but we've got to say he did get involved in an incident earlier on. We saw, I think he might have put it around at the final corner, I think you said, Bob, on the replay there. So Borg is doing very nicely as well. And how about this man now in a class of his own? Oh, is there some traffic there between Jason? We saw him trying to make a move through turn one. Now Son of Spawn gets out of the way. The only man in the field to make a pit stop there, but Wilco's got through unscathed from that one. Wilco, once again, Bob, not putting a foot wrong tonight. We saw him get a grand slam in practice last week and then took out the race win at Watkins Glen after a great battle with Figo. But he's, well, I was about to say he's in a class of his own, but I guess technically it's true tonight. He's doing very well.
Yeah, he's doing really well tonight. We might see, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't seen how these STs go at COTA and, you know, how they look after their tyres, but he does appear to be moving around a bit more at the moment.
Interesting. There we see as we head back to this battle at the front. And the pressure, like they say, it's much easier to chase than to lead. So I'm not sure whose shoes you'd rather be in at the moment, Figo or Sexy or Rexy, but lap 8 of this race, just 26 minutes to go now in this social race here at the Circuit of the Americas. Great to have everybody's company. Absolute pleasure to bring this to you on a Thursday night. Plenty of action indeed. We've seen tons of action, great moves here tonight and plenty of great racing. Plenty of respect between these two, in fact. And is he sitting back? Is he biding his time? What's going through Figo's mind at the moment? Does pit stop strategy come into play? When are these boys going to be looking to come into the pits, do you reckon, Bob, here tonight?
Yeah, I think the safest option would be just to split the race down the middle. You know, at the halfway point, you know, get in, get your pit stop done, you know, and just try and keep it consistent all the way through.
And you can see there, halfway point of 45, that'd be probably the best way to go, I think, in terms of strategy. Like you said, Bob, split the race right down the middle. And you can see their Vintage Racer now dropping further back. He's still in a podium position here, 8.1 behind Figo. You've got to think there's almost an extra class in this race. Rex and Figo doing very nicely on their own. Then you've got Vintage OGT, along with Andy Byrne, 3 seconds further back, and Borg, who we know had good form in Shakedown. Had a great night earlier in the week, of course, as Jimbledon said. But you can see Borg there. And then we've got Wilco leading the way for the Lamborghinis in the Lambo there. Good Vibes, 6.7 further back. We've got V8 Man now behind Good Vibes, but of course this is we've said I think we said this in qualifying, Bob. We've got this interesting situation now, don't we, where V8 Man probably not quite at the pace he wants to be at, but he's just behind Good Vibes there, of course. But well, it's a different class of race, isn't it, though?
Yeah, this is going to be slightly aggravating for V8 Man, because obviously he's going to be able to carry all of the corner speed, but as you see, when they get on the straight, that ST has got some long legs. So Good Vibes is actually stretching it out as we approach this, you know, the corners. That's when you'll see V8 Man, you know, so much more speed through the corners.
We're going to see, I think that's going to be a theme in the next 23 minutes. V8 man's going to be very frustrated after spending 4 months off of Assetto Corsa to come back. He's very close. You can see that gap close, can't you, Bob, in sectors 1 and 3. The more technical parts of the circuit, V8 man closes up. Then on that back straight, you can see good vibes. A very slippery Lamborghini, the ST, getting away from him there. And little engine that could, I think I can. He's going through, Bob.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously it was through a very intensive, you know, corner where that downforce is needed. And obviously that's where the Audi is superior. So it all depends on if he can stay close to him and get back on the gas, he might have a run at him down the straight.
Breaking news here, very big development in this race. We were talking pit stop strategy only a few moments ago, Bob. And now Rex has pulled the trigger. He's come into the pits. Will Figo go longer? We're going to wait and see.
Halfway through, keep pushing.
Halfway into the race. My goodness me, Bob, right on the money.
Yeah, it is right on the money too.
Halfway point, straight in the pits for Rex.
Oh. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if Figo will just do 1 or 2 extra laps. It depends on if he's gone heavy and if he just wants to run long, and just take that couple of litres. So there are a few different ways you can play your strategies, you know, even if you're not taking tyres.
So there we have it, Rex he's come out of the pits behind sideways in the 48 Lamborghini. We'll keep an eye on Figo, who is coming towards the end of lap 10 here. Will he go longer? Well, he is going longer, but by how much? We'll wait and see. Is he going to flirt
Here
with
he
that
comes in.
hit lane line? Yes, he is, Bob. He comes in, wasting no time. So it'll depend all down to the pit crews. Keep that speed limiter down, guys. What is the speed limit there? We'll wait and see, but that caught a few guys out last week, didn't it, Bob, in Watkins Glen? A few SG30s. We haven't seen any of those tonight. And we'll keep an eye on Figo.
As well. If you looked at that pit entry, literally as soon as they hook it left, that's when the board is there for the speed limit. So, yeah, the boys have got to be on it tonight as they come in the pits.
Now, is this going to affect Rex? This is interesting. We can see Figo's coming to the pit lane now, but is this traffic going to affect Rex in this race, Bob, at the moment? He's just got him at possibly the worst possible time there. You can see in the triple right-hander. Has he got it done? Yes, he has. But where is Figo? He's still stationary. We'll wait and see. Off the jacks, out of the pit lane. Here comes Sexy Rexy. Yabbada, yabbada. Through the final corner. Thank you, Geordie. Hello, hello, gentlemen. Like how it says both of you are in spectators on the leaderboard. Thank you very much. Let's have a look at the battle for the lead. Where's Figo? Where is Sexy Rexy? I can't watch, Bob.
Where is he?
Where is he?
He's got it done. He's extended that gap.
He has, he's absolutely played it beautifully there. Has Sexy Rexy. He pulled the trigger, and we've got an SG30.
Oh. OGT, stop-go 30.
Stop-go penalty. It's a stop-and-go penalty. SG30, there's the first one, Rain of Fire. And Geordie, hello, hello. Love how it says we're both spectators on the leaderboard. At least we've got a proper title. It's a bit more official that way, but thank you, Geordie. Bingo says, there we have it. Are we playing SG30 Bingo, the stop-go penalty? Jimbledon is our winner tonight. Come up and get your prize. And my goodness me, 11 laps into this race. Vintage Racer leads ahead of Andy Byrne. Then it's Borg continuing his shakedown form, a little shake and bake form. And then it's Wilco. V8 man, these guys yet to pit. In fact, everyone else has pitted apart from the 5 up front. You can see there Wilco in his own class, yet to pit. You can see Sideways also in the pits, but Rexy not only has got that lead, but like we said, Bob, he's extended by I wouldn't say undercut because he was already in the lead, but he's done very well in that round of pit stops.
Yeah, he has. He's 2 corners ahead at the moment.
Incredible stuff.
He's doing really well.
So Rexy doing very nicely indeed, and unless my eyes are deceiving me now. It's got Figo 8.9 seconds further back. Is that right, Bob? Did we miss something?
Yeah.
No,
dead right. It is 8 seconds.
So that gap before that round of pit stops was, well, it was flirting between 1 and 2 seconds. But now coming out of the pits, Figo 1.89 seconds, almost 9 seconds further back. And with 18 minutes to go, that is plenty of work to do. As what's OGT going to do here, Bob? We can see he's got that stop-go penalty. Is he going to come in and serve that penalty straight away?
Yeah,
yes.
you're better off getting it out of the way as soon as you can. And he's made sure that he was down to the speed limit there.
He's walked into the pit lane there. Was it going into the pits or going out though? Or we're not sure whether.
I don't know. Yeah, you don't get an indication unless you're actually watching them at the time.
As Borg into the pits and then out again. And you can see their yellow flags out for something. Didn't quite pick up what that was, but Andy Byrne leads.
He stopped.
And have we got somebody stopped?
Oh, yes, stopping for his 30 seconds. In my mind, we knew it said stop go 30, but in my mind, I was just expecting to watch him drive through.
Yep, that's
for a track limit.
That's quite strange there, isn't it? I was expecting the same thing. I was watching OGT and I was rather surprised when he stopped in the pit lane, Bob. I was just expecting him to sort of crawl through and serve a drive-through. But anyway, Andy Byrne, 06, is our race leader, yet to make a stop. But he's coming in now. He's coming in now. There he comes. And I can't get over this man. I know we talk about him every week. And Jason Wilkinson, he has not put a foot wrong tonight, has he, Bob? Have you seen him make any real mistakes?
No, it's been nice and smooth right from the offset. Now, although it looks as if the tail end might be getting a bit loose.
Yep, commentator's curse. It'll get you every time. There is absolutely nothing this man has done wrong tonight. And just wait for it. We might see, hopefully we don't see a stop-go penalty now. I was
half hoping he had another lap in him, so he could have actually taken the overall race lead before pitting. Now that would have been, quite shocking to see that.
Yeah, would have looked good on the timing screens. It would have looked good to go back on and check in on the stream. V8 man also in. Andy, Wilco, they are all in the pits. And what a race it's been from Wilco, mixing it there in the pits with some of the other guys. Rex, fastest lap of the race. There he is, 8.4 seconds. That gap's come down slightly, Bob, back to Figo in second. Vintage racer as well, don't forget about him. That gap's not too well. You can see Figo, can't he? And he's right up ahead of him.
Yeah, he's kept that sort of 5-6 second gap, just behind the front runners. But yeah, don't rule him out. He's obviously sitting very consistent to still be holding that gap the same.
And there we have it, very consistent indeed. Borg now back onto the circuit. And apologise if we switch between the cameras and sometimes the graphics aren't quite up to scratch, but there we have it. Good vibes. Hello.
Oh, another stop go. V8 man.
Number 20, who is it? V8 man 24, stop go penalty. And it might be coming out of the pits maybe, or it might just give us that notification either way, whether it's coming in or coming out, I think.
Yeah, you only get the notification of your penalty as you cross the exit line. One thing that I have noticed is Albert is now on a charge again. He's up to 5th, and he's right on the tailpipes of Andy Byrne.
And way ahead of you, as you were talking about that, Prince Albert in the 720-92 McLaren there. He is absolutely on a charge. We might stick with this battle, Bob, because this is going to get spicy. As Geordie wants to know, do people practice pit stops? Well, they might practice the pit stop part of it, but they probably don't practice the speed at which they've got to come into the pit lane, Bob. I think that's what causes some of these issues, these boys not slowing down quick enough.
Well, for the endurance races, we will. whoever's teamed up together, you know, we'll always have a dig at each other to make sure that we do practice the pit stops. Obviously, in the endurance races, a lot can be made up or lost, you know, indeed, during a pit stop.
So there we have it. You can see there, Albert. First time chatter. Thank you. Welcome, Darsk. I think that's how you say that, but welcome. It is great to have your company. As Albert, he says, Andy needs to hold his nerve. Now, don't go anywhere, Dark. I'm struggling with that one. Darsk. There we. Thank you for that. And it's a bit like Escalator last week. Where there's one in every stream. But thank you for that. Do not forget to follow this channel. That would be fantastic. First time chatter, please follow the channel. We're trying to hit 30 followers. That would be the absolute highlight of my week. But I tell you what, this is a highlight in itself because you're spot on, Darsk. He's got to hold his nerve here, Andy. And Geordie says, I would be absolutely pooping myself if Prince Alberto was behind me. Oh, he's getting mighty close, Geordie. He's getting close. He's getting more than close. He's going to have a crack here down the main straight. He's got a perfect run out of the hairpin. Is he going to have a go here, Bob? Talk us through it.
He's not actually forcing the error that I thought that he might be capable of doing. Andy Byrne is holding his nerve really well.
There we have it. He says, speaking from experience, Darsk says, tough guy to defend. And you can see with a dozen or so minutes left in this race, Albert is all over the back of Andy Byrne like you would not believe. Couldn't quite get it done down the back straight. And now he's going to get it done down the inside. And you could see there, he just poked his nose in there. All very clean, very clinical. Plenty of respect shown between these two drivers here tonight. And it is Lexus versus McLaren. 6 versus 92, you get 98, and this battle is going at 110%. Great racing here tonight. That is absolutely for sure. Never a truer word spoken, Geordie. Very respectful. Where can he get this move done? He is looking all over the place, Bob, but Andy is holding his nerve. Wow, what a battle we've got in store here out of the final corner then. Lap 15 of this race. It's a wide entry.
He's doing really well, really well. I mean, Albert, you know what he's like. He's like that pesky little fly, you know, buzzing around your TV screen. He's just not going to go away.
Yep. Nothing worse. That fly you can't get, or the mozzie you can't get with the Mortine. Oh my goodness, he's all over the back of him, and he's through. What a move!
Job done. That was brilliant.
What a move at the S's there from Albert. Incredible stuff. The King of Spain now up into 4th position with a fantastic move there on Andy. You've got to give it to Andy. I've never seen a Lexus that wide. But in the end, Albert, too classy, too good, getting that move done. A brilliant battle between these two, Bob.
Yeah, I don't think it's over, though. Andy's staying with him.
And I've got to say, almost as sweaty as me, Geordie, at the moment in this commentary box here. But Andy's not out of this one yet. Is he going to have a comeback? Comeback tour. Andy's not done with yet here. Andy Byrne and Albert seeing an absolutely incredible battle there. OGT has served his penalty, and he's doing some good things down there as well. But we might get back to this. Andy versus Albert. Lexus versus McLaren. Did Andy slightly outbrake himself there? It looked like he might have got in a bit too deep.
Really nice on the brakes. Really nice on the brakes. No lock-up, and he just closed that gap up really nicely.
Rain of fire. Credit to Andy. He raced that well. No doubt about that. This is a fantastic battle. And we've still got 10 minutes left in this race to enjoy this battle. And Albert may have the speed on him here at the moment, but Andy is staying with it. That gap is 0.6 of a second here. Right, then right again, coming out now through second last corner. Track limits. Watch you don't go too wide there. No, all within track limits there, coming through the final corner.
Look at that gap up the front though, Trev. Now, didn't expect to see that. Rex. Oh, Albert must be out of fuel.
And Albert is off. He's pulled off the racing line. Is he out of fuel on the start-finish straight? Yellow flags are out. And, well,
he stopped the car.
he stopped the car, so I'm not sure what the conversion rate. What sort of, do they use the metric system in Spain? They may not have put enough fuel in that car. That is bizarre, isn't it, Bob?
Liters instead of gallons. Yeah, unless the little one is needing some attention in the background and he's had to run off on a family duty.
Yep, we'll wait and see to confirm what's going on there, but well, that's a shame. It's a shame for us here at home, a shame for everyone watching this race here tonight, but here is our race leader, ladies and gentlemen, with 8 minutes and 19 seconds to go and some spare change. It is Sexy Rexy, and the battle was close. He had an incident, didn't he, in turn 1 with Figo. I don't want to put any blame on anyone, Bob. It was start of the race, first lap, things get hectic, don't they? So sometimes incidents will happen. But 8.8 seconds and a further 8.8 back. How have you found Vintage Racer here tonight in the podium spots? He's done quite well tonight, kept everything clean and going quite well.
No, I think he's done fantastically well. Certain tracks, he might actually give the boys some headaches now. But yeah, to still be sat, within sight of those leaders, he's done really well tonight.
Great performance, Andy, who's all on his own at the moment. I feel a bit sorry for him, Bob. He's probably not thinking the same thing. He can rest easy now in a net 4th place after Albert, the King of Spain, departed us for his princely parental duties, and Wilco has he's in front of Borg, isn't he? And in front of OGT.
Yeah, indeed.
On the track, so well, we can't quite see those times, but I reckon he's in front. He's leading the Lambo class, the ST class, by plenty, I'd say, Bob.
Yeah, so Wilco's best lap is a 2:09.7. Again, the consistency is going to be a problem around this track. His last lap was a 2:11.7. So, there's a 2-second variance in a lap here, whereas we're used to seeing Wilco, within 2 or 3 tenths.
And yep, so it is consistency. Usually he is Mr. Consistency, of course, but that is the important part about racing. That's for sure. Sexy Rexy coming up with some traffic, I reckon. Is he your son of Spawn? Where is he? Haven't called his name too much tonight. He's down there in 10th in the King's Meat Snacks sponsored car. Very nicely done. Very professional there, Bob. Just getting out of the way, letting the race leader through. Good to see. Good respect amongst these boys. All of these boys here. It's something we see each and every week. But it is a lot of respect out there on the track between sim races.
Yeah, no, a lot of these guys, I mean, obviously the best thing that we've ever done is when we've had the interleague championships, just giving each other, exposure to different driving styles. But yeah, we haven't had any issues with, any of these interleague events since like the game's infancy.
No, it's all been very, very well played. Like we said, a lot of respect out there on track. What's Branchy doing? He is 6 laps down. He did not get a penalty, I don't think. No.
He's actually sat in the pits. He's been sat in the pits for some time, but it's that glitch again. So he's not quite in his pit box, or the game doesn't recognise him as being in his pit box. So he doesn't show as being in the pits, and he just gives everyone that yellow flag. Yep,
so yeah, that is a glitch. We've seen it on a few forums from 505 Games. Son of Spawn there in 10th position on the track. And you can see sideways Polka in the Lamborghini. Good vibes in the Army livery there, doing very nicely indeed. So what is he, Bob? A net 2nd, I think, in the Lamborghini ST class. But, well, sideways, I think this is the closest battle on track for 2nd place. 1.9 seconds.
Yep, so they're going to take this all the way down to the wire as well. 4 minutes remaining, so that's only going to be, where are they on the track? It's only going to be the lap that they're about to start and one more.
So penultimate lap for these two, the 640 and 48 Lambos. Let's recap. If you're just joining us, big hello to you. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening wherever you're watching. I say it every week. Right around the world, it's KRL multi-class social race here at the Circuit of the Americas. Everything's bigger in Texas, and boy, oh boy, we've had a big night tonight. We've had some incredible battles, some fantastic, close, clean, respectful racing, and we've still got 9 people watching this on Twitch. Keep those comments coming in because it helps with the numbers. We'd love to hear from you. Please follow. We're trying to hit that 30 follower mark if you haven't already. And a tick over 3 minutes. We are winding down here, Bob. We've got, well, what do we got? Sideways and Good Vibes is the closest battle, I think, on the circuit. Yep, it still is.
Yes, it is, yeah.
For the time being, that gap at the front, 9.60. Things quite steady out there at the front. And after that round of pit stops, couple of retirements, Darsk. Yep, we did have a couple of retirements, didn't we, Bob? Who have we lost, please? Saint Sim, I think?
Yes, Saint Sim was the first loss. We've actually lost 3 drivers now. I can't think who they are. Is V8 Man, is he still out on track? No, he's dropped.
I think it might have been Saint Sim,
V8
Saint
Man,
Sim, yep. And Albert.
Yes.
Albert dropped off. The King of Spain said adios amigos, and he headed off for the evening. But a tick over 2 minutes left. Beaky 28. Good evening, gents. Beaky, I know you are following Twitch and you're an absolute superstar. He's ticked us over to 10 followers, double figures. That'll make management happy, as we'll take a look at this battle a little bit longer, I reckon. 1.2 now. This is getting very close. What have these boys got? One more lap in them, Bob, here. One more tour.
Yeah. So, well, no, actually, it depends on where the leader is. Where is Rex on the track at the moment?
Oh, I think he might have run a bit wide.
Where is he?
Wide there, Good Vibes. He's coming around the final couple of corners. No, he's a bit before that, I beg your pardon.
Right, so... yeah, they're going to have another lap.
So there we have it, 90 seconds left in this one. I think they are. I think everyone might have another lap, I think. We'll wait and see. But Sexy Rexy, yibbida. He has done very well. That gap at the front, it was a very intense battle. Him and Figo made contact off the line. It was an intense start, wasn't it, Bob? I'm just trying to think back 45 minutes ago.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all
you can. Leader is on the final lap. Still don't know why that sounds a little bit like Chris Gale, the Universal Boss, but it does. But 20 laps, that's a fair amount of mileage around this circuit, isn't it? It's a long time, 45-minute race. Beaky says, great to hear Bob's dulcet tones again. And, of course, yourself, meaning me. It is great to have you on the stream, Beaky28. Always, the fans love you on here, Bob. Each and every week, the love just gets stronger, doesn't it, from our fan base?
Well, it's we've all been together for a very long time, so you know, if one of us goes quiet for a little period, you know, like KRL hasn't had a major season for a while, it's lovely when all the boys are back together again.
And we are looking at the leader on the final lap. Thank you, Beaky. But have a look at this battle. I think he's done it. Sidewire. We missed it. We missed it, Beaky. I think we missed it, have we? 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Race over. But I think we've missed that. We've missed the move between Sideways and Good Vibes.
The move was done. It was just a very gentle, you know, through the flow section of the course, and it's still not over. They're still sat on top of each other.
And have always loved commentating with Bob, says Beaky, and it's an absolute pleasure. It's not quite, oh my goodness, Rex, they're having a little bit of a moment, but nothing too much to worry about. Coming through, final lap of the race, 45 minutes, 3, 2, 1, 0, that's it. Race over, only a few more corners between Sexy Rexy and victory tonight. Here at the Circuit of the Americas. Get your Texan hats out. Yibbida, that's all, folks. And look at this, coming around the second to last corner. Now the final corner. It is Sexy Rexy, 46, who wins this race. That's it.
Finish the race.
Marshall's waving a green flag. How about a checkered flag? Now he's waving a red flag. What is he on? Let's have a look at that. Need a cameraman. Update has restructured the cameras, Geordie. Across the line goes Figo. Vintage Racer coming through the final corner. Who is your driver of the day? Don't forget to get your votes in on the chat, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the same when you're not here, Bob. I do that shitty impression trying to fill in for your good self. It is not quite the same. Vintage comes across the line, then it's Andy. Speaking of driver of the day, let us know in the comments who is your driver of the day. This man has done that well. He's beaten a few GT3 cars. We're talking about Wilco here, Bob. Has not put a foot wrong. We've been singing his praises all night. And he's going to come home to take victory in the Lamborghini class. Fireworks going off. Oh, and Wilco almost going off. And
yeah, I think you could award two drivers, with an award tonight. So, I mean, to be honest, what Wilco's done in the Lambo is remarkable. He has beaten some GT3 cars. We did think it could be possible, and he made sure it happened. For the GT3 cars, yeah, it's between two people for me. It's got to be between Vintage or Rex.
Vintage or Rex. I was thinking, I don't know why. Vintage just did not seem to put a foot wrong and make any mistakes tonight. He finished third on the podium. Beaky has cast his vote. Wilco for driver of the day. I'm not sure why I say that like Martin Brundle, but it just sounds better, doesn't it? But good vibes. This battle is continuing, but I reckon he's going to run out of time. Well, he's run out of time. Now he's going to run out of laps, I reckon. Good vibes comes out of the final corner. Sideways has got him. Someone else is sideways. I think that's Wilco sideways. Yes, in fact it is. Wilco for driver of the day. And Wilco says, ha, man, driving in a car that's 4 seconds a lap slower. Is that what Latifi feels like every race? That's funny how I didn't even know that Latifi was in that sentence. But go to Latifi.
And still switch to the accent.
And that is quite bizarre. That's how well we are working here up in the KRL commentary box. Bullseye Bob Hoskins alongside me. The dulcet tones of the great man you have been hearing over the last hour and 17 minutes. 4 seconds a lap slower. That's more Nikita Mazepin. A bit like Gunter. Not a big fan of Nikita Mazepin. Looking like a bunch of anchors. But there we have it. So Rex has won this race for the GT3 class, I should say, ahead of Figo. And some pretty considerable gaps there, Bob. It's pretty consistent, isn't it? 10 seconds back to Figo. Vintage 11 seconds. Andy 11 seconds after he lost his good friend after the Spanish Inquisition he faced a little bit earlier on. Wilco driving that car fantastically home to win his class OGT in the Bentley. 28 there after him sideways. Good vibes. Did a 209.7 in that second stint from Wilco. That is fantastic stuff. Absolutely on the pace. And Borg, son of Spawn, a lap down. Albert, 5 laps down. He left after V8 Man, if you know what I mean. So he technically finishes 11th. V8 Man classified 12th after not racing on this game for 4 or so months. 9 laps down. Branchy had the yellow flags waving. And then it was Saint Sim, who we lost before he even made a stop. 17 laps further down. But Bob, what a night. I've got sweaty armpits. How are these drivers going to be going after that tonight?
Yeah, no, I think they would have had some good fun out there. I mean, obviously it's a new track. It's the guys trying different cars. They will have really enjoyed themselves tonight. I mean, the top 4 there. If you look at those 10-second gaps between them, you're looking at half a second a lap. It's not a bad gap to the driver in front over the course of that whole race.
And Geordie wanting an official word on the driver of the day. And I've just cast my votes in the chat. Try and chat and talk at the same time with the controller. It's all happening. But yeah, GT3 for me. I'm going to go Vintage, which I know is harsh. I know it's harsh on Rex, Bob. but I'm going to go vintage for the GT3 and Wilco in the Lambo. So they're my picks. Get your votes in, everybody. Bob, who did we reach a verdict on for you for driver of the day?
It was pretty much the same. It wasn't so cut and dry for the GT3 for me. I mean, for Rex to actually finish ahead of Figo, that is a tremendous effort also. So I'm still stuck sort of on the fence between Rex and Vintage.
And Dusk says, good race, good call. Looking forward to getting on the track with KRL soon. Good night, gentlemen. Thank you for that. Hope you've given us a follow. Great to have your company. Absolute pleasure to have everybody with us as we see the cars lining up in pit lane. What a night it's been. It's been a great night. Geordie, Jimbledon, Rain of Fire. I'm flicking through the chat pretty quickly here. Apologies if I've missed anyone. Wilco doing very nicely as always. Voodoo, the Nigerian prince, working his dark magic as always. Kilroy, who has joined our little community here on Twitch. Like we said, we are transferring across to Twitch from YouTube. So yeah, it's new to me too. I'm too old for this stuff now, Bob, but we're coming across to Twitch, and it is fantastic stuff. But we are almost out of time, Bob. Thank you, my friend, for joining us. Well, we've had another great social race. We'll keep an eye on Discord and all our social media channels to see where we're heading. Where are we flying next week, Bob? We're heading into Indianapolis, are we? Where are we going?
I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, that's slipped me because we're still we're a week out from the first event, aren't we? Is that correct?
We'll have to double check. I think we'll have to get Wilco in on the chat to confirm that one. But we'll wait and we'll cancel that ticket to Indianapolis, the Brickyard. We don't need to go there yet. I thought we were doing a bit of a tour, a bit of a social tour with the USA DLC on this game, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait to confirm that. But thank you, Bob, over there in Perth. Thank you for joining us once again, mate. Those dulcet tones working beautifully, and thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No, thanks for having me, guys. Always great to join you, boys.
Great stuff. That is a wrap for us here. KRL Social Multi-Class Race. Just confirming Sexy Rexy. Yibbida yibbida, as we've got a latecomer, Geordie, Interleague Round 1, Indianapolis Interleague Summer Series. Please register here to save your place on the grid. Safety rating requirement of 50 SA points. BMW M2 CS Racing, Thursday the 1st of December. Yep, so all of the details are there in the chat. Thank you, Beaky. You're an absolute champion. Thank you, Geordie, for putting those details in. You can see that on the chat, ladies and gentlemen. That's our lot. That's a wrap here from the Circuit of the Americas. We're off, ladies and gentlemen. Be kind to one another. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.